I love how you can just apply the rules of Go to a lot of different things. Okay, let's get started. All right, we're started. We got people piling in. So here's a game from. So this is a friend of mine from Mississippi State. I taught him to play a long time ago, and I have no idea how he kept up with his skill because we played the belt test, which in our club is a 5 stone handicap on a 9x9, and he just thrashed me. I mean, like he beat me so bad that I couldn't tell how good he was. I was like, well, you're definitely good enough to win this game, but I don't know how good. So then we just went straight to the next belt test, which is 5 stones on a 13x13, and I beat him on that one. Okay, so now I've got a good feel of where he's at, but it was incredible. So Hypercube Go, yeah. So let's check out this game real quick. I think it'll be a good one for just like a beginner reference, and also just a good one that I can send to him as a review. So let's go through it. So I'm black. This is my other account, Namen Ramen. I don't know why I have two accounts. It's just how it is. Okay, I got two accounts, and I don't. Anyway, it's fine. So my friend is so fun one, and yeah, let's go through it. And I'm going to disable AI review. AI review is cool. I mean, I really like that is a feature, but I think a lot of times it's not helpful for beginners because a lot of times, not always, but often the moves it suggests are kind of deep. Like it's reading 30 moves ahead, and if you don't know, if it's not like simple in principle, then it can be a really difficult move to understand. So I just turn it off. We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. I've taught people Go before. My moves are not nearly as optimal as Kata or Leela or whatever's given that, but we'll work with it. Non-Euclidean Go, there is no edge, and pieces can overlap. Yeah, that's like toroidal Go is that way, right? Same thing. Beginner here. Hey, Peyton Bigsby, welcome. I'm glad you're here. How much you're seeking improvement? Cool. How much of a beginner are you? Have you played before, or yeah? Let us know. Do you have an account with some strength? Oh, Peyton Bigsby lies. Oh, okay. Seeking improvement. So you're probably like some 6 Dan, right? And you're like, hey, come on, teach me. Listen. Let me give you the Discord spiel here. Why though? There we go. Okay. Just put this face to those words. Okay. All right. There you go. You are seeking improvement. That's cool. I'm actually not really seeking improvement that much these days, although a little bit. That's kind of the point of Gooplet and I playing on Friday. The second part's true. Cool. What is that icon that you have there, a guy in chat? Cheer 100. I guess you get that for cheering a total of 100. That's neat. Thank you for the donations, as always. Okay, so let's go through the game real quick. I'll try to stay involved a little bit in chat, but I'll try not to get too distracted because, man, like, we did a 9x9 review a couple nights ago, and it took us like 45 minutes, and I have it on my queue to upload to YouTube, but it's like, here's a 9x9 review that's 45 minutes long, and there's not 45 minutes of content. It's just because we're hanging out in chat, and I like that for a Twitch environment. It's not so good for YouTube though. I hear Zoot. Okay.
Yeah, Zoot's back.
So I started with Sansan because why not? So this is sort of an atypical response, and just to go along the lines of like what I call 4-move Joseki. So we're not going to learn full Joseki, especially on a 13x13, but just to show some standard moves, right? Very, very common response is just to sort of extend and attach there, and then white usually does that. And of course it's symmetrical, but the whole board is symmetrical, but you could also consider this, right? Cool. 4-move Joseki, easy. Well, 4-stone Joseki, that was 2 moves after we started there. Whatever. Okay, so you went here, it's fine. So I start extending out this way, and this is just really loose, I think. You can consider putting a little bit more pressure on white. So what I'm going to start doing is pushing and trying to create some cutting points. So then, right, my goal as white in this game is always to make it complicated, so I'll make some cuts and just see if I can make profit from that. So, yep, bend over here. Oh, I guess I just directly Atari'd. It's been a while since we played this game. Oh, okay, cool. So I'm just going to try and eat this. So let's pause for a second and just see what's happened on the board so far, right? So what does white have? Well, white is looking to try and take a corner, but actually this stone is sort of looking into this area. So later, black has moves that can take away the points here. So white doesn't really have this corner yet, but it's potential. And then white would also like points here. This move is somewhat aggressive, right? So it sort of looks to interfere with the center, and it looks to maybe swallow some territory over here. But overall, white doesn't have a lot, just some fighting strength. Black, of course, has a little bit of influence on all the corners because you've got that 4/4 point, which is invadable, as we're seeing here. And also, black has made this wall, and that's, I would say, kind of the critical feature to look at in this game. What's going on here and what's going on here. So this wall faces this way, right? If this were a wall to a house, the house would be like here, right? Doot doot, with a little door, a little window. I'm getting better at that. So this is the wall, and if you want to make territory with that wall, this is kind of the place to do it, right? It projects strength downward on the right side. Oh, how do I get rid of the house? Anybody know how to get rid of that? I don't know. This one? Nope. I'm just gonna have a house on the thing. I've never used this feature. Oh no. Okay, what if I just play some moves? No, that doesn't work either. Oh no. Does anyone in chat know how to get rid of the house? Okay, we're just gonna have the house for a little bit. Let's see if black is able to make the house. Seriously, how do you? Oh, okay, I found it. I figured it out. Okay, we got there. There's a button next to the pen. Yeah. Okay, we got there. Thank you. Okay. So this might be okay. I think the thing to do here is just to stay strong, right? So white here has to worry about this disconnection, and of course you can't make it directly. Actually, maybe you can. I don't know, but it's dangerous, right? Because now there's this war going on between these two, and that's dangerous. So if you just pull back a little bit, right? If this was on paper, you could just use an eraser. Oh yeah, that's right. The old-fashioned way. Back in my day, I don't know how to use these electrons and all that. Yeah, so just back off, and then probably white has to connect here. And so white has probably found a little bit of territory in the corner and access to the center, and black has some strength in this area. That's a fine trade. Good enough. This one leaves cutting points, and so white is going to exploit that. White cuts, black Ataris, right? And so again, think about, always think about when you make an Atari, what is the natural response to that Atari, right? So of course, naturally, white will run, right? That's just sort of the first order. Sure, let's see. And so ask yourself if that's a worthwhile trade, right? So, okay, you got this stone, but then white got this stone. Is that good enough? Is that enough for you? If your goal is to sacrifice this stone and in doing so build some strength over here, that might be perfect. That might be fine. But let's see what happens. So you play here. So this says you're trying to kill these, and unfortunately, this is just sort of a reading thing. It's a difficult thing to see. It's complicated. If black wanted to play simply, you could do this, which threatens to kill these, right? If white plays somewhere else, black can kill those. And so maybe at this point, white does something to fix it, and then you've got so much strength over here. Right? That's nice. You've got this little wall facing the corner. It's nice. So okay, you play here. And I tried to lure you into a little trap here, but you didn't fall for it, which was cool. Good job, right? So I wanted to do this, which would kill here. It would get me into the corner. And then once these live, then these die, right? And so that was my plan. But I'm not sure if you saw the cut or not, but you just fixed here directly, which was cool. But it still lets me do a similar kind of thing, right? I'm still going to try and get into the corner to basically make these independently alive or close to it. And then once these are alive and these are kind of alive, then those are basically dead. So that's my plan. Okay, so you block here. So this says come on into the corner. You can have some here. I want this wall and maybe some territory over here. That's what I see when I see that move. So it's fine. I'll come in. This might just be kind of a waste. And again, it's just tricky to read. And to be fair, this is a threat. If white ignores, then black can kill. But if you let white get strength over here, then this just ends up being food, right? And so you just lose a point. Not optimal. Not optimal. Okay, so white strengthens here, which is kind of a move that I wanted anyway. It's not exactly progress, but it's fine. Okay, so then this is just a struggle, and it's just it's tricky to read, right? So you've got 2 freedoms here and 2 freedoms here. So this is a capturing race. Either these white stones will die or these black stones will die. They're probably not both going to live. It would be very difficult. I mean, it's possible, right? White could run and find life out here. Black could somehow find life over here. But probably those 2 are going to fight. And so, for example, white can win very simply by playing this. So, and that is what I played. Right, so when it's 2 against 2, it's really hard to win. I mean, yeah. It's not impossible because there are weird things like you can make a connection somewhere or something and get more freedoms. Okay, but not here, unfortunately. But okay, this might be an okay trade, right? So then I kill here. You could consider this. This is actually really thick, right? This wall right here, it's hard again to see how that makes points, but it just projects so much strength toward the center of the board. There's a really good chance you'll be able to do some useful things with it. But this cut is a dangerous spot, so probably worthwhile to fix it. Maybe not right now. I don't know. In any case, this is fine. This is not a pass, but it might be a little bit small right now. So this, I mean, you're right to see that this move infiltrates this corner and takes some points away. That's good. But there are probably some other things to be doing on the board right now. So like I said, black could consider that. You could consider some moves over here, this or that. You could consider fixing a corner invasion. You know, fixing the Sansan and then having a wall here, or fixing this and having a wall there. Those feel pretty nice too. So just some other things to consider. Okay. So here's me just trying to take the corner, right? Corners are efficient. I want them. And you blocked. That's fine. So here I just take the corner. Okay, and this is me trying to trick you. And yeah, you didn't fall for it, right? So if you play, I don't know, somewhere else, and you let me play here, and if I get another move, then I can do this and kill that. It's unlikely, right? And so it's like hope go, which I usually discourage people from trying to do. But in a handicap game, 5-stone handicap on a 13 by 13, white's whole game is hope go, right? So that's just me trying to look for weaknesses just to see if I can catch you off guard, and I couldn't do it there. So good job. Okay, so this is just me trying to establish a presence to try and do something about this, 2/3, 3/4 of the board that black looks like it's going to get. So you come on top. That kind of looks like you want this area of the board. And then I just try to make it complicated. And so, all right, so let's look here and let's try to think simply. So white's intention here, right? White is trying to surround this corner and make all of this points, which is difficult. It's tricky, but might be possible. I'm not sure. So black at this point needs to decide, is it time for me to try to push and cut to split these up? Is it time for me to try and establish a group that lives down here? Or is it time for me to cut my losses and just say, okay, you get to have that. I'm going to get some free moves on the outside and then just make the rest of the board points, right? That's kind of your options here. So this looks like you want to give me the corner. So here you're sort of blocking me off from this area and saying, okay, you get this, I want the outside. That's probably just a misplay, unless there's some Dawn level magic where that move is really good. I'm not sure what the hope was. Maybe you were thinking of like a monkey jump. A monkey jump would be possible, right? If you came down here and then did that. That's the monkey jump. This move is just disconnected. Cool. So we fight a little bit, and then this is not going to work. So okay. So now white has this corner, and it's damage control time. So just protect here. I don't like leaving that open. Maybe it's okay though. This is kind of nice though, right? So then there's no Aji. You can well, there's a peep. But okay. This monkey jumped off a cliff. Yeah, instead of a nearby branch. That's a good visual. Yeah, he just like sailed off into the distance. Oh, okay. And sure enough, I took the peep. Oh, okay. So here's, I think things start sort of cascading out of control. Um, so, black's pretty solid around here. And when white plays here, the plan, what I'm aiming at is this cut right here, because this cut is an Atari, and it threatens to kill this stone. So I think black's response here, pretty simply, could just be that. That could be fine. But okay, you come over here. So I come down. Right, so now I get a double Atari. So you fix the one that's a ko. That's fine. But right, because if you fix this one, right, I can take. So I just continue pushing, and so now I'm just creating cutting points, right? And so this is where not fixing that cut was painful, right? Because leaving all these, like, you see these like little one stone separated cutting points. When white starts pushing through those, there's going to be Ataris and double Ataris and all these uncomfortable positions that black gets put in. So this is why usually when we're in damage control mode, we sort of back off a little bit. So, as that enemy snake is weaseling through, you don't try to wrap around it directly, you just sort of block it off.
Why do I feel like you're going to start mentioning Jello?
I know, it's going to come up. I was thinking about it, I was like, I always talk about the damn Jello, I'm just not going to talk about Jello in this one. Okay, I took. This is good. You Atari, and so that's a free move. And so now you have cutting points, and you can fix it, but you opted not to. So I think something simple like this is nice. This makes it, this cut is still there, but it's difficult. And you sort of prevent you prevent a lot of shenanigans that can go on over here. If you wanted to play over here, I think this is probably small. White is not that interested in there. If you wanted to play over here, I think probably here is the move, right? But you're not making much points. You're not really gaining a lot by blocking there. Yeah, emote ideas, hand squeezing Jello. Yep, that'd be a good one. Hey, Jesserac, I think you've been here before. Are you already followed? I don't remember. Jesserac, I feel like maybe you don't engage in chat a whole lot, but welcome. I'm glad you're here. Remind me. Okay, you've been here a few times. Okay, apologies. But all right, glad you're here. We're just reviewing kind of a DDK right now, and then I think we'll play some DDK games. I want to try a guy in chat's strategies. Amateur 2. Welcome. Thank you. You are officially a nerd. Yeah, I think after we finish this review, I just wanted to review this while people are getting in, But I'd like to try. So a guy in chat was like, I don't know. I am very jealous about a guy in the chat's ability to play people at their level and make moves. Oh yeah. I'm sure I'm not telling you anything new, but hey, welcome. You're a nerd. But I just love watching a guy in the chat play beginners because the moves he plays look. You can tell some of them maybe are suboptimal, but he can make it a close game without, obviously just filling in his own territory to waste moves or things like that. So I'd like to start doing some of that with y'all. If you're interested, I think that'd be fun for me and hopefully fun for y'all, and I can give some commentary during those games to talk about what I see. Okay. Let's continue with the review. Okay, so here's where things just start getting out of control. We might kind of go through this sort of fast. Right, okay. So now we have even more cutting points, right? And maybe it's okay. Maybe you can do like fix here or do like a trumpet fix here. But it's tricky. It's important to note that, at least realize that when you make this move, you have these cutting points. You gotta see them. Guy in the chat, you said you bet that I can count 9 by 9 better than I think. You just have to evaluate when black plays. That was worth about 6 points on the side. Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested in trying. I think that's a valuable way to look at the game, and if I can learn to provide commentary with that perspective, I think that would be really useful. A lot of things are nebulous to me. That's why, like, you made fun of me for using the word more sente, right? Now, if every move on the board has a distinct value, then there's an obvious meaning to the word sente. But in a world where it's cloudy and maybe this move has some this many points, maybe this move has that many, I don't know. Then Sente is like a concept of persuasion. It's not math. It's like it's psychology. Um, okay, you weren't making fun. You genuinely like the idea. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, okay. So you just didn't agree with it in the position we were looking at. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Um, so okay. So there's a few ways black can consider handling this. So your goal here, right, is to kill this, right? You want these two stones to die so that you can have the rest of the territory. Let's think about that in principle, right? So you've got this corner that's about to be shredded. I mean, this is the urgent part of the board if you want to keep everything. So some ways to fix it could be this, although that gives white kind of a free move over here-ish later. You could consider fixing it like this, right? So this fixes both of these cuts, but it leaves peeps. You could even consider this if you're willing to give this up. Something like that. So just some things to consider over here because you need this corner to be strong. The whole thing these two white stones are doing is separating the corner from the rest of your strong group. So, if you can strengthen that black group, you will also be damaging the white group. You think a lot of high-level games have an element of more sente, okay, and fighting spirit comes into it too, because responding feels like you're following. Catspin, sente is about math in the endgame, for sure. Yeah, endgame is math. I don't know. Maybe there's some new way of thinking where it's not, but as far as I can tell, endgame is just math. Yosei is all just every single move has an exact value, and there are ways to count it. But middle game, early game feels very, very thematic to me. I have a hard time seeing point values. Okay, so anyway, just some things to think about. This move doesn't help, right? So it's true, you keep white from running this way, but this stone is loosely connected over here, but these cutting points are very dangerous. Okay, so white takes a cut here, and then when you chose not to fix it, now you're in. It's like you're doing damage control, but you keep having to like move your walls back, right? It's like there's like the river is flooding, and you'd built a wall, but then the levee broke, and you're like, well, shit, let's try to protect this part of town, right? So okay, you cobble together a new wall. That's fine. You have to do that from time to time, but it's tricky. Okay. So let's see. I went ahead and took. Yep. And then you Atari'd, and I left it, right? Because the danger is not that bad. If you take, I can take back. Not too much of a loss. So this is okay, right? Locally, you've contained the fire. So now I'm gonna take this little cutting point that you left here. So you decided to take, I took back, and then you blocked. Okay, so here I'm just trying to be tricky again, and I don't remember if you saw it or not. So yeah, just trying to contain that. Okay, nice. So at least you kept this alive, so that's good. But you had to let me in a little bit, right? It's one of these sort of dangers that you had. It's just part of leaving that gap open. That can be really dangerous when your opponent's already peeping through a gap. Even if it's a strong wall, once they push through, those cutting points can be tricky. That's just what I did, like an airline thing there. Exits on the right. So okay. And I think probably the game is over at this point, right? So if we, again, sort of step back and look at the board, black's territory is sort of squeezed into this small area. White has 3 of the corners. This one is still contested. Hey, what's up? Shmuley, what's up? The party of 12. Sounds like y'all are having a good time over there. Shmuley, if you want to play, I'm down. Or if y'all in chat, I don't know if Shmuley can hear me right now. But yeah, I'm down to play a game if you're interested, Shmuley. Um, he's got to sleep. Okay, cool, cool. Hey, thank you for the follow, Yuki257. What's up? You are officially a nerd. And yeah, so here you can save those stones with that, but you just came down, so I split it, and I got to have this corner. So now white has all 4 corners, right? Let's see. Shmuley keeps saying he has to go to sleep, but I think he wants to play against. Oh yeah, I hope so. ATK32, what's up? Hey, hadn't seen you in a while, Andrew. Um, Andrew, I've got you modded on this channel, by the way. You might be a mod in the Discord too. I'm not sure, but good to see you. Welcome back. Shmuley, you'd be more than down for a quick game. Okay, nice. Let me just finish this review real quick. We're basically done. I think the game is over. So now things are just crumbling for black, right? White has found all these ways to sneak in. It's difficult. Black should at least consider this cut. I don't think it works, but it's something. When you see this, like, this group only has 3 freedoms and there's a cut there, it's something that should at least trigger in your mind, like, I wonder if there's something I can do with that. But okay, cool, good game. Thank you for playing. I'll send Sofan1 this review later. Shmuley, you are in my Discord. Do you want to hop in chat real quick and we can